Oh my, I'm back. So let's talk about more about Jason Voorhees. Dun dun dun. So yeah, let's get right to it. So let's talk about part 5, the new beginning. So it starts out with this man wearing a raincoat, walking in this forest while it really storms out, and he gets to this gravestone that's Jason's, and he stares at it. It's young Tommy. And he's scared. And he doesn't believe Jason's dead. He thinks somehow he survived. And then some grave robbers appear and Tommy hides. And grave robbers do what they do. They dig up. And they dig up Jason's dead body. There he is. For some reason holding his machete. Oh yes, today we bury this notorious serial killer, and we got to bury him with his weapon because it's out of respect. That's stupid. So yeah, you guessed it, Jason's still alive, and he stabs and kills the grave robbers, and he's like, bitch, I didn't forget about you. And he kills Tommy, but wait, it was all a dream. And older Tommy wakes up from the dream, sitting in the back of a van, a mental health hospital van. So they drive to this location and there's a bunch of people outside working and doing stuff. And they park next to this house, and the worker tries to get Tommy out, but Tommy's silent and doesn't want to get out. He doesn't say anything. So the mental health worker has some attitude and just leaves him. And then there's Pam, one of the leaders of this location, and she gets Tommy out. But of course, the mental health worker is of course a creep to Pam. So Pam shows Tommy around, and she has him meet up with the male leader of this place. And Tommy has some attitude. It's like, I get it, Tommy, you've been through a lot. But you're acting like a teenager. Like, seriously, dude. So then Tommy meets his friend of the movie, Reggie, this 10-year-old kid who's his roommate. And he scares him with a prank. Oh my goodness, a prank? I'm telling you, Friday the 13th created pranks on YouTube, because I'm telling you, each of the movie has a prank scene. So then Tommy scares Reggie with one of his prop masks because it looks realistic. And this time it makes sense because part 4, he was a kid making these masks. Doesn't make sense, but now since he's more grown up, it makes more sense. So then the next scene is basically us meeting the victims. Then, there's the goth girl. I'm telling you, probably one of the first appearances of a goth girl with movies. Look at Friday the 13th being progressive. Then there is this guy that has special needs, and then there's the girl there's this girl who basically helps the special needs guy out, basically takes care of him. Then there's the edgy guy holding the axe. And then cops arrive to drop off the horny couple. The couple that cannot stop fucking in public. I'm not joking. That's their addiction. And then this motorcycle appears, and we get one of our first appearances of a Karen. It's prehistoric of the Karens. It's pretty fascinating to watch. And she yells at them to tell them to stop fucking in her yard. This time I kind of got agree with the Karen because that's pretty gross, guys. Come on. And then, how all Karens are, she gets dramatic and she threatens to kill them. Calm down, girl. Then the special needs guy has a chocolate bar and he wants to help his caretaker, but she's folding laundry with the goth girl and they tell him no. But then they get annoyed and mad at him because he gets chocolate on one of their clean sheets. So they tell him to go away, so he goes by the edgy guy holding the axe, chopping down wood, and he tells the special needs guy to go away.
but I guess he loses it like a complete sensitive loser. He kills the special needs guy. Poor guy. And the cops are calling because everyone freaks out, of course. And the paramedics also show up. And one of the paramedics is one of the weirdest paramedics you'll see on film, because he shows the dead body to the people who are already horrified for witnessing a murder. And he calls them a pussy. Like, what is the matter with this paramedic? Like, what? So then the other paramedic's pretty affected by seeing the dead body of the victim, and he gets really affected by seeing it. So then there is these two teenagers that are parked on the side of the road, and there's this one friend that's pretty much a dick to the other one, and the mean friend makes the other friend go out to fix the car. So then, being a total jerk and a dick, he leaves that friend alone to take a piss in the woods. And then the other friend sees this guy holding a red fire stick, and I guess this guy has severe anger issues, because he goddamn shoves that fire stick right up, no, not what you were thinking, right up his mouth. I mean, that's harsh. So then the mean friend comes back, and that guy kills that friend too. Next is the mental health worker that was a creep earlier to Pam. He drives to this restaurant, and he, like I said with the other movie, with part 4, if you're a creep in this universe, you'll get any girl, because he can't cause this waitress in. She clearly knows the worker, and she decides to get ready in the bathroom. So, like I said, this franchise is not progressive towards women, and boom, as she gets ready in the bathroom, we get a titty shot right there. And so while she gets ready in the bathroom, the mental health worker is pretty strange, because he starts singing a cocaine song while sniffing coke. No, not the soda. So I guess the copycat killer is anti-drug guy, because he brutally kills a mental health worker, and then that poor waitress is next. So then the horny couple, they gotta do it. They gotta bang in public. I'm telling you, it's an addiction. So they go to the woods and they do it, and I gotta say, out of all the movies, this one has to have the most nudity in it, because just for some reason, after they do it, she lays down and we get this long, it's gotta be like 2 to 3 minutes scene of just her laying down naked, boobs and all showing. Again, it's not needed, but I think this movie has the most nudity out of, like I said, all the movies. So the copycat killer can't handle that's a big no-no for this series, and like I said, this copycat has anger issues and cuts out her eyes. God damn, I think you need to go to therapy, my dude. Reggie then gets permission from his uncle that he can go visit his older brother, so Pam decides to drive them to the trailer park where the brother's at, but she asks Tommy to go with, so Tommy goes with, and while they're at the trailer park, Reggie hangs out with his brother while Tommy looks at the trailer park neon sign and has a mental breakdown. And then the Karen's son has to mess with Tommy, and Tommy beats him. And I can't lie, the son deserves it. He deserves the beating for edging Tommy on. So Pam sees this and they decide they got to go, so they leave. And god damn it. Then the older brother, played by the guy from Marijuana Man, a movie that I might talk about sometime, he gets killed by the copycat killer. God damn. Yeah, the copycat kills the brother and his girlfriend, and it sucked because they were cool. They were mellow, they were cool. So then The copycat killer gets sick of it, and he just kills the rest of the people at the mental health home. And then he chases after Pam and Reggie, and he's about to kill them. That's not until Tommy, the hero, he chops off the copycat killer's hand, and he falls to his death. And the twist is, it wasn't Jason. No, it wasn't. Jason's still dead. It was the paramedic? Wow, you don't really say, because there's that one scene where he's really affected by the special needs guy's dead body. That's because that was his son, and he wants revenge, but he dressed up as Jason so he could, get his anger out. But why not just kill the guy that killed your son? Doesn't really make sense, but that's part 5, and I really enjoyed it. Yeah, the characters were over the top, but with part 4, with the characters being boring, I would rather take over the top, because at least they got a personality. And I will say the twist doesn't work for me. I think it would have been better if it was Tommy actually killing them, because clearly throughout the movie, he has severe mental issues, and he keeps on seeing Jason in his head. So I think it would have been a better twist if it was actually Tommy killing these people. I think it would have just been a better twist, and it would make more sense for like a storyline. But yeah, I liked part 5. Yeah, it didn't have Jason, and that's what I know that's why lots of people don't like this movie. Lots of people hate part 5, but I liked it. I know it doesn't include Jason, that's why lots of people watch this series. But I thought they did something different with not having Jason and having a twist where it's one of these characters killing off these people. And I thought, hey, it was a nice change. So now we are on to part 6. So with part 6, I'm going to be honest, it's my favorite of the series. Part 6 is my favorite movie of the series because it is so stupid and ridiculous and highly entertaining, but it's done on purpose. Literally, the title sequence is a James Bond parody opening. They're not taking themselves serious. I think that's why it's my favorite and why it's many of the fans' favorite of the series, because they don't take it serious and it's on purpose. And like I said, it's very entertaining. So it starts with Tommy and this guy that he met through a mental hospital driving down this road towards a graveyard. And I gotta say, Tommy, my man, you gotta get over it, man. Jason's dead. He can't harm anyone. You gotta get over it and move on. Literally, your new home is mental hospitals, dude. So then they get to the graveyard and Tommy's friend begs him to go back. And he's like, bro, chill down. We're just here to say what's up to Jason. So they dig up Jason's grave and they open it up, and god damn, the bugs are having a buffet on Jason because he's just skeleton and bugs. But yeah, there's bugs all over him. And so they dig him up and see, Tommy, Jason's dead. Well, that's not enough, because Tommy, in his head, hears quotes from the last 2 movies, and just like young little Tommy, that gangster arrives again, and he grabs a metal pole and repeatedly stabs Jason's dead corpse. So then they're about to leave, and lightning somehow shoots down and electrocutes Jason's dead body, and it explodes. Literally on fire. And like I said, the movie not taking it serious, this resurrects Jason. He's alive somehow from this electrocution. And who does he see first? Tommy. What was the last thing he remembered? Oh yeah, little Tommy cutting off his head. So he goes after Tommy first, but he escapes because the friend hits Jason with a shovel. But I guess if you're a zombie, you get the strength of Superman, because he fucking punches a hole through the friend's chest, holding his heart. Holy shit. So Tommy escapes and drives to the police station, and he tells them they gotta do something because Jason is back. Well, they don't do anything, and Tommy's mentally unstable. So what does he do? He grabs the shotgun, and they grab it from him and detain him and put him in a cell. Tommy, what the hell do you think was going to happen? So then there's these two people in a car, and they're driving in the forest, and they see Jason standing in the middle of the road. And actually, one of the smartest girls of this series or franchise, she starts backing up, but of course it's muddy, so the car gets stuck, and the boyfriend, or the guy character, he goes and grabs a gun, and it's like, you think they would do this before? This is the first time they're showing a gun in this series, by the way. And it's like, you'd think they would have a gun in this series by now, because this is America, and we're sadly known for having guns. But no, this is the first time there's a gun in this series. So he gets out of the car and starts shooting at Jason, and Jason's like, what? And he just stabs the guy and throws him. Paul escapes from Jason grabbing her, and then of course she trips and falls into mud, and I guess she just forgets how to walk, and yeah, Jason kills her. So next, we meet our other set of characters, Megan, who is the daughter of the sheriff, Paula, Sissy, and Court. And they're going to be the new counselors at Camp Crystal Lake. No, they will never learn. And Megan just gets a hard-on for Tommy right away. It's a little strange. And the friends see this and notice, and they tease her. So then they leave, and they go to Camp Crystal Lake, and they set up quickly, and then right away the students arrive, and they're clearly unorganized, and they mess up their lessons with them. So then Megan goes back to the sheriff's station while the friends stay behind at Camp Crystal Lake. And then there's these people playing paintball in the woods, and there's this sore loser who loses against a girl, and he complains. Jason shuts him up quickly, and there's this funny gag with the movie where Jason, throughout the movie, doesn't know how strong, he doesn't realize how strong he is now, so he literally lifts up the decapitated arm and is shocked for how strong he is. It's a pretty funny gag with the movie. And leaving behind the friends, yeah, that wasn't a good idea, because Jason takes them out right away. And brutally, there is this funny scene where Kurt, the male friend, he sleeps with this girl who's staying in this RV for some reason. And after they do it, they got to drive back to her dad's house. And he is so excited to drive this RV that he ignores her as she keeps falling back to the RV, to the back of it, because how fast he's driving. And he doesn't notice when Jason kills the girl, and then Jason's literally just watching him like, yo, is he going to notice me yet? And no, he doesn't, because he just keeps on driving. He's enjoying this RV a little too much, but it was funny. And Jason kind of gets jealous of this RV, because he's not getting the attention he deserves, and he stabs Kurt in the head. And then he kills the two female friends, and of course, brutally. One, he twists the head off like a twisty can. It's goddamn crazy. So then back at the station, Megan has a huge crush on Tommy, and she helps him escape, and they drive towards Camp Crystal Lake. Well, the cops are there ready, and Jason easily takes them out. And so Megan and Tommy get there, and Jason's about to attack Megan, but the dad protects her and defends her against Jason, but Jason's like, you need a chiropractor. Cracks the sheriff in half like a pretzel. And then Tommy and Jason have a fight on a boat in the lake that's surrounded by fire. Yeah, it's a lot. And Tommy wins and throws Jason underwater with chains around Jason's neck and the chains are connected to a huge rock, and he sinks to the bottom. And that was part 6. One of my favorites of the series, probably is my favorite of the series, just because how much they didn't take things so serious. They knew what it was, and they didn't take themselves serious. It was stupid, super ridiculous, but you'll enjoy it because how entertaining it is. Yeah, I love part 6. Now we're on to part 7, and I'm just going to be brutally honest. It's worse than part 4. It is. So it's going to be a quick summary of the movie, okay? Because I hated part 7. It was worse than part 4. So it's going to be a quick summary of the movie, okay? So, this movie is boring. I don't know how you make a slasher horror movie boring, but somehow they did it. Yeah, this movie was very hard to watch. All I was thinking was, while watching, was, when will it end? And you're going to see why I was thinking that. So, remember how I said part 6 didn't take itself serious? And it was entertaining because how ridiculous it was? Well, with part 7, they tried making it serious. And it doesn't work because the more serious they are, the more unintentionally funny it is. Because we're at the point where now the main character has supernatural powers. I'm not joking. We're at the point of the series where they don't know how to continue it. Where they're like, fine, just have her have superpowers. We don't care. Yeah, so the supernatural power belongs to a girl named Tina, and when she was younger, she killed her dad by having the deck fall apart and crush him in the water by her telepathic powers. She has guilt about it, but now she's all grown up, and she and her mom go to this place where they're going to be staying with this doctor. And where do you think this place is at? Yeah, it's Camp Crystal Lake, but with a new name. Why don't the cops demolish it? Seriously? So, then we meet our other set of characters, the neighbors. And literally, the whole point of them, what they do is they stay in the house waiting for their cousin, waiting for one of their cousins to arrive because it's their birthday. Oh, I'm going to tell you, that's not going to happen. Because, spoiler alert, Jason kills them. So he's never going to arrive. Yeah, that's their whole point. That's the point of the characters, is they just wait in the house for that person to arrive. You see how boring this movie is? So then, like I said, we meet grown-up Tina. And she has guilt, I don't know why, because her dad was a drunk and abusive towards her and her mother, but whatever. And she doesn't act like a real character. Like, she has no development. All she acts throughout the movie is a sensitive bitch. I'm sorry, I don't mean to call a girl a bitch, but that is what she is in this movie. I'm sorry. She's sensitive, she complains all the time, she screams all the time. This is worst character. It's worse than young Tommy. So, then, yeah. So if you look at Jason, it's so cheap. This movie had such a low budget. We're at the point now of this series where even Paramount stopped giving them so much money. Because Jason looks like a Party City Halloween costume, or where you get it from Spirit Halloween. It's very cheap looking, and it's very cheap. And don't expect them to show the kills, because they can't afford good practical effects. They can't. You'll see where their budget went to. You'll see. I'll talk about where all their budget went. They're very low budget. Yeah, with the kills, they do cutaways. They don't show it, because like I said, they have no money. So yeah. And, okay, so where all their budget went was towards Jason's deformed zombie face. Okay, that's where the budget went. Seriously, this movie has no budget, but the money they had went towards that practical makeup. Because it looks decent. But, yeah, we're at the end, and Jason does what he mostly does. Kills most of them. And, yeah, and then Tina and him have a telepathic fight. Yeah. I don't know what the hell's going on. So, that's part 7. it's a bore fest. It sucks. But now we're even getting to a movie that's even worse than Part 7. And it was so bad that even the fans, critics, hated it. No one watched it because it lost so much money financially that Paramount was like, fuck it, let's sell the rights to New Line. That's how bad Part 8 is, so let's get to it. Part 8 is not like Part 6, because Part 8 doesn't take themselves serious. That's pretty nice. It is entertaining, but it's also so stupid that it's like, we get it, okay? We get it. Yeah, this movie wasn't fun to watch either because it's not great. I will say, though, it's entertaining. Like, I'll talk about why I disagree with the people that hate it later. Like I said, it gets so stupid where it gets annoying at some points, but I'm going to be brutally honest. I also love Part 8 because they don't give a shit anymore. And for your warning, this movie has a very much more low budget than Part 7, so you will not be seeing the kills. There's no practical effects. I'm going to spoil you, they do show Jason's face at the end, but it's literally clay that's melting. Yeah, but all that makes this great, so bad, it's entertaining. Yeah, so I guess let's finally talk about it. So, Part 8 begins with this long shot of this boat. We get it. It's a boat in the lake, okay? And in the boat, there's this couple, and they want to make love. It's pretty damn romantic, dude. Doing it on the sea. I dig it. So, the guy puts down the anchor to stop the ship, because that's the point of anchors. They're supposed to be heavy and stop it. Well, no, not with this movie. This one's made out of plastic, because it starts moving. And again, it's a very lazy way of bringing back Jason again, because this anchor moves, because again, it's plastic, and it stabs an electric tube in the lake, and that electrocutes Jason and brings him back, and he wakes up. Are you fucking joking with me? So yeah, he does what he does. He kills the couple. I will say, the guy's death, he knew he was getting a short part, and he was like, you know what? I'm going to make it memorable, because he does one of the worst death scenes ever. I know, this is pretty shocking, too, because this is still a Paramount movie, a studio that has legacy. It's not like Samurai Cop, where, yeah, it's so cheap, and it's bad, and the actors don't know how to act, so when they get killed, it's really bad, but those aren't a part of legacy studios. Those aren't a part of big known studios. Friday the 13th is owned by Paramount, then it was owned by New Line. And this guy's death is so bad, I'm shocked they didn't cut it. Because he overacts, and it is fabulous. I mean, seriously, he knew he was getting a cameo. He knew it was a short scene that he was about to die. And he was like, I'm going to make it memorable, and it was because I'm talking about it right now. So then Jason goes after the girl, and like I said, this movie has no budget, it has no money. So when he kills the girl, he literally stabs a pillow that they put fake boobs in. I'm not joking you. Look at it. That's a pillow. And so, yeah, so next we meet our victims, and it's these students graduating, and they're going on a cruise ship to celebrate. I didn't know there was senior cruises. Yes, I know there's senior cruises with old people. I know that, but not with students, like senior students. I don't know, it was the 80s, it was crazy, and we're literally at the point where the writers don't know what to do. So they're like, let's have a graduation cruise ship. Why not? And guess who's hanging on the rope of the ship? Yes, you guessed it. Jason, are you for real? So he climbs on, and he's somehow, this big, over 6 feet guy, super muscular, and super slow. He somehow sneaks into the cruise ship, gets inside to the rooms, and hides. Like he's a ninja. Oh, okay. Whatever. So then this punk girl goes down to the basement of the cruise, you know what I'm saying. And I guess there's no restrictions. You know, usually on cruise ships, there's signs on doors that says restricted just for employees. I guess there's none for this cruise ship because they couldn't afford to make signs. So yeah, Jason goes down there and kills her with hitting her with the guitar. And this punk student girl puts on loud music. And you know, Jason can't handle loud music, you know. He's basically like a senior citizen, and he takes the guitar from her. Rude, Jason. Rude. And he kills her by hitting it with her. Wow, Jason, I didn't know you were a senior citizen at this point. Wow. So, and again, don't expect any practical effects, because you're not getting any. So then we meet our most stereotypical mean girl, and she hangs out with this Asian girl. And you know what they're doing? It was the 1980s. Everyone did coke, so of course they're sniffing some coke. They get caught by the final girl who's just looking for her dog. She really doesn't care about them just sniffing some coke. But then they get caught by her uncle, who's the teacher, who's in charge of the cruise ship, of watching the students. And to hush up the final girl, they decide to push her off the cruise ship into the water. And the final girl is scared of water, so she doesn't know how to swim, so she basically almost drowns. Don't worry. They pick her up and they save her. But their plan to hush her up was to murder her? Okay. Well, great thinking, white girl. So then to hush up the teacher, the mean girl decides to try to seduce the teacher. Girl! I see you on the street selling ass because you keep getting caught with drugs. Like, that's not how you hush up people. You shouldn't even hush up people. So, what do you think's gonna happen? Do you think the teacher's gonna deny her, be that good man, and say no to this young girl, because this guy is middle-aged? Or two, he says, fuck it, let's do it. Yeah, he does the second choice, but then he denies her because he knows it's wrong. Dude, you're not a saint because you were about to bang that student before your brain was like, dude, this is wrong. So Jason senses she's a hoe and kills her off. Again, you're not going to see her death because there's no budget for this movie. So then the students find the dead bodies and they do one of the smartest things. They try to fight Jason together. That's smart. What's not smart is they separate to fight Jason. Not a good idea, because Jason takes them out very easily. And then the surviving students, there's like 4, including the 2 teachers. So I guess there's there's 3 students. There's Jules, the boxer, who I'll talk about later. And then there's the final girl, her boyfriend, her uncle, and then there's another teacher. But you can't escape Jason on a rowboat. He's going to be there at New York. Yeah, he shows up magically after they get to New York. And this was New York in the 1980s before it was cleaned up, the crime. So yeah, the surviving group gets robbed. And they do a really horrible thing. They try to sexually assault the final girl. And there's one thing Jason can't stand. He can't stand couples that are horny and they do it consensually. They do it with consent and not force. What Jason can't stand is when you try doing it by force and not by consent. Jason doesn't like that. Like everyone should. And he kills these weirdos. That's one good thing about Jason. He has morals, okay? Just like us. And I am a little disappointed though, Jason, because he did kill one of them just by throwing him into the pipes. Come on, Jason, you're better than that. And we get to poor Julius. Oh, Julius gave up a good fight. He fought Jason on the rooftop. Punched him. But Julius, my man, you gave Jason a shot. Literally, he says, punch me. And that's what Jason does. And punches his fucking head off. R.I.P. to Jules. So, and Jason takes the rest of the two out. It's like a video game mission. How much can you get rid of? So this is when the budget really runs out because the final girl and her boyfriend run into the New York sewer, and she throws toxic waste, and Jason says, you know, toxic waste is always available, you know that. And yeah, his face is literally melting clay. Yeah, there's no budget. And that's Jason Takes Manhattan. Should have been called Jason Takes a Cruise because 90% of this movie takes place on that damn cruise. Literally, the first hour and 20 minutes takes place on this cruise. The last 20 minutes takes place for Manhattan. Very misleading, okay, Paramount? Shame on you. Lots of people hate Jason Takes Manhattan, but I enjoyed it for how unintentionally funny it was. Just like Part 7, they tried making it serious, but the more serious they try to make it, the more funny it is. So I enjoyed it very much. But yeah, that was the Friday the 13th franchise. Yes, I know there's more Jason movies, but those are Jason movies, not Friday the 13th movies, because that's owned by New Line. You're gonna have to wait until the next Spooktactular Fool. I gotcha. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed me talking about the Friday the 13th franchise. I liked most of them. The rest I didn't. But I had a great time talking about them though, because you guys are awesome. And yeah, so that was it of the second episode of the fourth Spooktactular Fool. And like I said, I hope you enjoyed it because I enjoyed making this video talking about Jason because they are really fun movies to watch. And I know you liked it because this video was entertaining as hell. And subscribe because it's free. Share because it's free and kind. You guys are awesome. Peace out.